Hello everyone, it's Andrew at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, and we're here for another Fossil Friday. Valentine's Day is come and gone, and I get the impression it's a time of year that a lot of people feel lonely. Me too. But it happens to the best of us, and I have a solution for it. See, humans by nature are gregarious animals. That means we like being social. We feel best when we're around others of our kind. So the solution is just to get out, be with your family and friends. You know, it might brighten your mood, or if in the case of a Maiasaura, it might save your life. Let me explain. So this is a Maiasaura that I happen to be kneeling next to, a very famous duck-billed dinosaur found in Montana. The bone we're going to talk about today for our Fossil Friday is the radius, this long, thin bone, one of the two bones between your elbow and your wrist. So as we were working on Maiasaur bones that we have in our lab, we encountered this really unique radius. So if you look closely at it, I'll get a little closer here. On this surface, it looks like a typical radius, long and thin. But if you look here, you'll see these two big puffy spots with deep gouges into them. Now, when we see something like this on bones, we know that it's pathologic, which is a fancy word for saying that this is evidence of injury or disease on the bone itself, something that the animal had happened to it in its lifetime. These deep gouges indicate tooth marks. So what we can suggest by looking at this bone is that this Maiasaur was attacked at some point in its life. Some animal left deep gouges in the bone, which really scarred it up. But what's really unique is the puffy surface surrounding those tooth marks. What this is re-healed bone, indicating that the animal survived the attack, not only long enough to get away from its attacker, but to heal. This is re-healed bone trying to fix the damage that was done from that attack. That's pretty interesting in itself, but what does this tell us? Well, it could tell us a whole lot, but we just found this bone a couple months ago, so we haven't done a lot of research into it. We don't know exactly what happened to this animal or how it got attacked. My personal theory, if you'll indulge me for a moment, is that it got attacked by something like this. This is the skull of a caiman from South America, a relative of alligators and crocodiles, tongue-tied there, with these long, thin, and very powerful teeth. Because the radius is such a low bone on the animal's arm, I like to picture the Maiasaur going to the river, drinking some water, and getting attacked by something like an alligator. But it survived the attack and kept on going. That's an interesting theory, but again, it's just an idea. We don't know for sure. I like to think it's an alligator attack. I guess it's the romantic in me. But what's even more important is the fact that that re-healed bone tells a lot. This animal survived, and judging by the size of this radius, which is about the same size as the one on the mount here, it grew to a pretty good size. This is pretty close to fully grown for a Maiasaura. It tells us that this animal survived and lived a long life, which it couldn't have done on its own. Maiasauras, just like people, are gregarious animals. They lived in huge herds. This single bone is one of 10,000 that we found in a single bone bed. So it's all in good likelihood that this Maiasaura couldn't have survived and wouldn't have survived unless it had the support of the herd. That's why many animals live in herds, is for mutual protection and because they just like hanging out with their own kind, just like people. So my suggestion to you, if you take anything away from this Fossil Friday, is to always find your herd. If you're ever feeling down or depressed, remember there are people out there who care about you and support you and will always be there to support you, just like the Maiasaura. So that's all we have for today. I'm Andrew Rossi from the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, keeping your Friday fossiliferous.